Hello class, welcome back to another flipped lesson. Today we're going to talk about proportions, which we've already been talking about, but we're going to go into it a little bit further and explore some different types of proportional relationships and how to determine if they are proportionate or figure out missing values in proportions. So you need your note sheet and something to write with. Complete the review it section at the top of your notes if you haven't done so already. And then let's talk about proportions and see if we can determine whether or not something is proportional. Some values are proportional. So looking at the steps to determine whether or not there is a proportion, first we're going to write our ratios as proportions in fraction form. Sometimes that has already been done for you. Other times, especially on word problems, you will have to write your proportions. So looking at number 1, we are looking at 2 to 4 and 6 to 12. We write each of those ratios, 2 to 4 as fractions, 6 to 12, and we want to make sure that they are written as a proportion, which means you are setting two ratios equal to each other. Now I want to know, are these ratios proportionate? To do that, we are going to use cross products. Products means multiplication, so we are going to multiply. So we're going to multiply across. First we're going to multiply 2 times 12, and we are going to see if that's equal to 4 times 6. So 2 times 12 is 24, and 4 times 6 is 24, and since those values are the same, then my ratios are proportionate. So in answer to our question, we are trying to find proportional, and we want to know if these are proportional. So the answer to that question is yes, they are proportionate. So let's try number 2. Number 2 is already written as a fraction, so we are just going to write it as a proportion, each ratio. And then we are going to do our cross products or cross multiplication. 3 times 16, is that equal to 4 times 6? 3 times 16 is 48, and 4 times 6 is 24. So we know that 48 is not equal to 24, so those are not proportionate. So we will say no. You are going to do number 3 on your own and bring that in. So let's try it on word problems. Number 4 says we're going on a field trip with chaperones, and we want to know if the chaperone amounts are proportional. So first we have to figure out what our ratio is. What are we comparing? We are comparing parents to children. So that would be our first ratio, and here we're comparing parents to children. So our first ratio is 4 to 12. We're going to make that a proportion to the second ratio, and we're going to see, is it proportionate? Cross multiply. 4 times 6 is equal to 12 times 2. Let's see if that's true or not. 24 is equal to 24. Yes, they form a proportion because those two values are equal. So the field trip chaperones are proportional. Okay, now let's try $1.20 per 3 ounces and $3.20 per 6 ounces. So our ratio is $1.20 to 3. We will set that equal to dollars to ounces again. 320 to 6. Cross multiply. And 120 times 6, is that equal to 3 times 320? So $1.20 times 6 is $7.20. and 3 times, oh, I did this incorrectly, 3 times $3.20 is actually $9.60. So that is not true. So these are not proportionate ratios. So you will do number 6 and bring that into class tomorrow. Okay, let's do our next section. We are going to solve proportions for missing values. What we're going to do first is write the ratio as a proportion in fraction forms. A lot of times that can be done for you, but in word problems, again, you will have to set up the ratios, the proportions, by understanding what you are comparing. Once you've done that, we're going to cross multiply the values that are not missing and then divide by